Alright, this is Bob from Virginia Cage Fighting Championships. This is a bout from 2011 Night of Champions. It's in the lightweight division and features two, at the time, up-and-comers. First is Kevin Jones, representing Team Thomas out of Danville. And then you have Michael Bowman, Team Rock Bottom, Martinsville, Virginia. So here you see GCA referee Arvin Terrell going over the delicacies of the fight here, and we're getting ready to get this one underway. One thing I'll tell you about this venue is it was very hot this day. I had this; it was a big mistake. Very nice little left hand there by Michael Bowman. He immediately goes into ground and pound mode. Now you see his opponent is looking, Kevin Jones is looking for to take a leg lock, but in the scramble he gets his back taken from Michael Bowman here. Now you see Bowman is working a choke here. Now look, most jiu-jitsu guys would have finished this, and then look, you can see here the jab that knocked Jones down is making him bleed a whole lot. His nose is busted open pretty well, but right now, I mean, look, this is what you have a lot of times when you have amateur fighters. Bowman can't sink in that choke. Now there's blood pouring all over the place. A very good indication of how tough he is not to just go ahead and tap out from the busted nose. So you see a couple of strikes there. He's still got his hooks in and has his back. Jones is trying to shuck him off of his shoulder there. He's a little bit high, and you're going to see him fall down. You see blood pouring on top of his head there. Arvin's not going to stop the action until it gets into this position here where Michael Bowman is sort of on the side, still looking for that choke, still in a position to get the choke, but not really able to pull it off here. So you see his arm is stuck around his throat, but he's just not in the right position to get the choke. A couple more punches there, and he's really losing the back position as more and more blood pours out of Kevin Jones's nose. Now Jones is in the top position, loses his mouthpiece, picks it up and puts it back in. So that shows you, he's not really worried about germs. And then here's where Arvin's going to stop it, which was probably the right call. Take a look at the nose of Kevin Jones, and it is a bad, I guess a cut on the nose, and you see the guys in there wiping up the blood. Just a terrible looking nose injury right there. So we go to the corners. They wipe him down, and they're going to look at doctor's going to take a look at him, and basically sort of go, can he continue to fight? Is the nose broken to where he cannot continue? And you can see there that it continues to bleed, pretty badly there. But I don't think they're willing to stop it quite yet. And you see the guys in here wiping up the blood. Pretty bad cut. But now if it was over the eye or something like that, they would definitely have to, stop the fight, and then, I guess, because blood will be pouring in the eyes. Here you see a corner. I'm not sure how this is. I'm not sure how good this is right here. I'm not sure why the corner was allowed to come in and wipe down the other fighter, but nevertheless, it happened, and the fight is going to continue. The doctor cleared him, says he can fight. Arvin's getting ready to start him back here in the center of the cage, and that jab really did all the damage and really hurt Kevin Jones. And so Arvin is telling them we're going to start back in the same position, and so Kevin Jones is going to get into the sort of half guard position here. Really think they should have started standing back up, but it looks like he's in side mount actually. We'll have to go back and look at that. I'm not sure if this was the position they actually were in. But you see him there. He's giving him some elbows. Michael Bowman, probably his ground game is not his forte. He comes from that boxing gym in which, probably one reason he didn't get the choke is, the gym he's with is primarily a boxing gym. Grappling is not really their specialty. Now you see a turn of events here as Kevin Jones takes the back, and he's sort of riding out on the back. A little bit high himself. He's got one hook in. He keeps going back and forth, one hook to another. Bowman reverses it, and then he winds up in the side mount here. A couple of elbows, and Michael Bowman is looking to, do some damage, and then the round ends, and Arvin separates two fighters. There you see Marcus Thomas, coach of Team Thomas, and Arvin's giving him some kind of hassle about something. And Arvin's letting him know exactly what rules to go by. I'm not sure why they're so upset with each other, but nevertheless, we head into round two. Definitely a round that I think Michael Bowman won easily. Just from the damage from the strike and being in that position, for a while there. A good fight so far, so good. And, it's just one of those things where you see this sort of, fight going on and a little bit of blood. Most people, would have stopped this amateur fight. But look, Kevin Jones seems to be fine. He's actually ended up in a good, strong position towards the end. And he's totally not out of the fight yet. So kudos to the ref and the doctor for allowing this fight to continue. Here you have Arvin Terrell getting ready to start it again. And Michael Bowman is definitely looking to get in there and do what he did last time. Now they get into a weird, both of them going for guillotine position here. Bowman actually gets the takedown and winds up in the guard of Kevin Jones. And there you see Bowman is trying to work and sort of get up. What he should be doing is posturing up here, which could be difficult. He's got the arm trap down there, Kevin Jones does. But he's got to free that arm, try to posture up and throw some punches here. Slam, these are the type of things you do when you're, I guess you would say a lot of wrestlers who aren't really used to passing the guard will pick a guy up and slam him in the guard. To me, that right there, instead of posturing up and throwing some strikes, really tires a guy out more than you would expect. But this has been a good fight so far. Bowman's on top again, and of course Kevin Jones on the bottom. He's really neutralizing the strikes here. And you see Bowman gets a couple, and there's a nice elbow. And there he looks to actually pass the guard. But what happens is he gets over into this headlock position. Okay, he actually has an underhook here, but Jones is able to go ahead and, push him forward and wind up in this position where Bowman is actually coming out to take his back. Now Bowman looks a little bit over. He's trying to get the arm, trap the arm, and he's kind of in a position that's weird. He needs to slide that right hook in right there. But what happens is they're both very slick. It was a very hot day, a hot environment, and he's too high on top of him. Now he finally gets that hook in, and he's starting to rain down blows. Having your hook in is very important. You always get that one on the right-hand side, the closest to the body first. He takes the mount here, and my cameraman goes nuts. And then, boom, Kevin reverses it. Now, you can just tell Bowman is exhausted. And here's where, having good training really pays off. Jones starts to work him with shots here. And he's working up underneath his shoulder, and you see the tap out from Michael Bowman. So really a great comeback, probably one of the best comebacks we've ever had in the history of the VCC. One of those fights that you just go, wow, man, that could have ended a lot differently. There you see Marcus Thomas from Team Thomas, very happy to see his guy victorious. We haven't seen Marcus Thomas in a long time. I don't even know where he's at or what happened to him. I think he's in Hawaii. Really miss the guy. And look, that was a good fight for both fighters. Both fighters, if you look at Michael Bowman, he should have learned something from that fight. And, Michael Bowman had a lot of potential. And that's a sad thing. He really didn't get with a good team. He really didn't find himself in a good position to where he could, make a go at it and continue this thing on down, where, it's just an awesome thing when you see these guys um, who compete at this level, and they've got potential. The most important thing, in my opinion, is finding a good team that gives you a good blend of grappling, boxing, Muay Thai, whatever you're into, kicks and punches. Not just find a boxing guy or whatever. So to me, that's really important. Michael Bowman, I wish that he would have stuck with it because, boy, he had a lot of potential. Very athletic, very tough guy. And there you see the winner is Kevin Jones, and mutual show of respect. Marcus Thomas is very happy. He got a big victory there. And, coaches, mutual show of respect there. And it would be nice to see, I guess what you would say, it would be nice to see these guys fight, later on. I don't think either one of them are really doing anything right now. But here is your winner at 222 of round 2 by submission, tap out due to strikes, Kevin Jones from Team Thomas.